Had a long talk with myself today, and I realized something. What I realized is I like talking to the camera because the camera listens. When you talk to the camera, you can come back in a year, and everything you said, the camera will repeat it. Everything. It's amazing. But I want to talk about something right quick, man. I ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time. People, one of the things that we got to understand, we are living in a world where stupidity is at an all-time high. There was a video. I was just at the gym, and I was watching. I think a cop shot a female in Columbus because she was trying to stab another girl. Those are the times that we live in now. We live in the times now where everybody think that they can act any old way they want, and when the cops come, the cops are the enemy. And this whole cocktail of stuff that's going on, you know, there was a time when men knew their place and women knew their place. We don't live in those times no more. So for all the men that are old-fashioned like myself, you got to let women be women. For all you men out there that think that, you know, wearing your pants off your behind is this new style, I got you. But I want to talk about something this morning, and I want to talk about frequency. And I realized that with frequency is the religion of a person. Their frequency is their true religion. Not religion, not if they're a good person or a bad person. Their frequency. Their frequency is who they are. People will listen to me on this platform. What's going on, Deshaun? People will listen to me on this platform, and like 100% of the women that was in my life and in my past won't come to my aid and say, he's not really like that. This is a business. They allowed, I'm talking about my mom now. My mom has allowed my job to be my frequency, and nothing in how I treated her said that. My frequency and what I put out, what I got back, caused me to be like this. Do this business. So let me break something down to you. This is so much of a business that I just want to do this for the fun of it. So much to the point where I rent this place just to be on here talking about the problems that men have because we hate women. Logos and business paraphernalia and all the money that I invested in, all the equipment that I have in here, never mind all that, I hate black women. I now understand and I realize that people's frequency will not allow them to be any and think any other way. Atia LaShawn Bradley. A lot of you people think that you can love somebody, and what they'll tell you is, or what you'll tell me is, this is what you tell me. A lot of you people tell me that this B is crazy and I can't wait until she deal with the next dude, blah, blah, blah. She ain't gonna treat the next dude like that. She's not. The way you were treated was exclusive to you. It was the frequency in which you gave off, and it's what you got back. I need y'all to follow me. I got 10,000 in here. What's going on? I got Deshaun in here. What's up? And I got Brandon. He's up in here. Appreciate you guys. Talking about frequency. There's a lot of people that are nice people and good people, but they have a negative frequency. And this is why they have a hard time accepting the fact that they're negative people. I'm going to tell you something that my cousin and my brother told me about Atia LaShawn Bradley. My brother said to me, yo, bruh, you got jealousy and envy in your own home. My female cousin Shelly said, I know you and this woman just had a baby, but you might want to think about the future with this woman. People, when you are as advertised, your frequency follows you. When you listen to something and you get bent out of shape, it's because you're not who you say you are. So let me give you an example of what I mean when I talk about frequency. You got to understand people's frequency. People, if I go to a radio station and they say Power 103.1, well, we play hip hop all day. Coming up next, Billy Bob, My Heart is in the Basement. My heart is in the basement. You'll say, wait a minute, this is hip hop 103.1. What is this? We listen to and we turn to certain radio stations, the frequency on the dial. We turn to them to get what we want. So let me put that on hold for a second and say this. After the election, I don't look at current events. I don't look at news at all. Not even a little bit. I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything. I don't. I have no desire to listen to music, listen to news. None. But there are people that are in tuned and they turn to that and they need to get fed that. They need that frequency. They need that. So let me give you an example of what I mean. What I just said. Because you can tell somebody you're negative. You can tell somebody you're mean. And then they'll say, no, I'm not. So I'm going to give you an example of what I'm saying. Because I'm trying to help you guys understand a person's frequency. You meet a female. She claims she don't know anything about cars. You talk to her about cars. She don't know nothing. Then one day you buy a car. You buy a car. and she proceeds to tell you that you got bad tires. She never told you anything about a car before, never told you anything. You never knew she knew about tires. You was totally oblivious to the fact because she said, I don't drive, I don't know anything about cars. But she wants to point out to you that you got bad tires. You know why that person pointed out to you that you got bad tires? Because that's where their frequency is. Won't tell you it's a nice car, or they'll tell you it's a nice car to set up for to tell you the tires is bad. Oh, it's a nice car, but so let me talk about me for a second. I was in the truck today. I had to stop at Food Line. I had to take a load to Food Line. I took a load to Food Line. I goes up there. The lady says, you need to have on a vest. I said, ma'am, I don't have a vest. Well, you can't come up to the window. One of the yard jockey guys gave me a vest. I tried to give him $20 because that's what my frequency is. He said, nah, bruh, we get those all day, man. You good. I goes back up to the window, and I'm just giving her I said, listen. She said, sign here and sign there. I said, now, I want to be clear before I touch your pen. Can I use your pen, or is that some type of violation of your safety as well? Because you mean, really? I said some more stuff, but that's not neither here nor there. What I have been said that I'm mean. But if you ask me, I would tell you that I'm going to say just enough to get you to up off me. Because you're going to leave me alone. I have happiness and harmony in my life. And I will protect it at all costs. Nothing or nobody will ever be in my life and say, I can pull the strings on his happiness. That ain't happening. But I tell you what. When I go back to that place, I won't have no problem with her again. I won't. You know why? Because she was a mean person. But my frequency helped her understand I'm not accepting that. I'm not. People will navigate themselves through life under the context of what they are, but they're giving off something entirely different. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this in there. My man Deshaun said, I've been told that I'm a mean guy. My response is, I'm sure I sure am. Let me tell you what I've been called mean too, Deshaun. And let me help you understand. The people that only told me I was mean were women. So I'm going to say this, Deshaun. You are mean to a woman if you simply just don't agree with them. You'll be declared mean. Women have this certain way about them that they just used to guys smiling at them. If they got a voluptuous body, if they pretty, it's all drop dead gorgeous. That's even worse. They are under the assumption that every guy should smile at them and they should have their way with any guy. The individual that lived across the street from me, I'm gonna say this and bring my point home. There was time when she knew that I don't have this guy's attention no more. Like she knew, like, You know, when we first met, like I said, the 5 weeks, and then I said, nope, I'm not doing this. We was out in front of my house, and a little kid came and dropped his bike and said, I got a problem. And the little kid said, I need a hug. And she gave him a hug. I said, yeah, that's what I want to be doing to you. And she just was like, well, you know how women, they hear you. They're just collecting. They're just collecting love me and then like some time ago when I said I changed my number, and then we seen each other and we was talking, she was like, oh my God, some sweat trickling down my butt. And she was looking at me like I just said something about my butt. Talk back to me. Then I just was like, and that was her way of saying, I'm going to talk about my butt, but he ain't, yeah, it's over, yeah. Had I just went along with that, Deshaun, she would have loved it. What's going on, Prince? Good to see you too. If you disagree with them, you're mean. Just understand that. That's what I was taught. I've been told, appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. I have been told that I've been told that I'm mean. I had a woman tell me, you giving me too many red flags. Here's an individual that had 2 kids by a guy that was married. And it's amazing she couldn't critique the married man in her dumb situation, but she could critique me after watching one of my videos. I forgot to add that. But frequency will help you understand a person. Their frequency. Let me give you an example again. Let me say it again. You meet a woman, she don't know nothing about cars. You try to tell her, yeah, I want a BMW. Because it's high end, or you may say I have a BMW. Oh, I don't know nothing about cars, this and all that. Get into a crash, you lose your BMW. In her mind, she's saying good. And then you buy a old Ford Escort. Soon as you buy a Ford Escort, now she's an expert on cars. I ain't trying to be mean or nothing. Or it's a nice car, but you got real bad tires on this car. I wouldn't have brought this tire. Now they're giving you a slew of bad about something, and you didn't even know they knew about cars. People, you got to understand people's frequency. You got to understand that. Very well said. 10,000 said, my family thinks that I'm a jerk for arguing against them for lying in this war of misinformation. Yeah. Of course. Of course. Of course. People, when you see 5 dudes and they 5 booty out niggas, do you see one with a little cup of coffee, a little cup of tea, and be like, yeah, yes, man, you better bounce with that. Oh, we don't play that over here, my friend. Oh, no. You see them throwing their guns in the air. Yeah, go, yeah. Go. That's what you see, right? Of course. You meet an individual, all they want, a woman with a nice behind, all they want to do is twerk all the time. All they want to do is twerk all the time. And you're a distinctive gentleman. Y'all are on 2 different frequencies. a woman that's looking at those guys, and say, I want a husband and a family and somebody to lead me, those are two different frequencies. Two different frequencies. And what happens when two different frequencies try to cross? They don't combine. Frequencies don't combine. People are going to, if you want to listen to rap music and you turn to Hee Haw 105.1, Hee Haw 105.1, you will not have your radio on that station all day. You won't. You won't. This is the same when it comes to people. Me personally, I can sit down and see the wrong in people and don't say nothing. But when you're dealing with individuals with their frequency is messed up, they're wrong hunting. Because that's where their frequency are. That's where their frequency is. That's where their frequency is. People, what I think about every day is cars and cars. What's going on, Mr. Dawks? That's all I think about. All I think about is cars. I love cars. I watch Top Gear every day. I'm looking at cars online. That's my frequency. I love cars. I get a call on the phone, I'm online looking at cars. You know? And that's not going to change. I love what I do. I love what I'm not. I love what I represent. I love what I stand for. I'm just here to tell you guys, yo, pay attention to people's frequency. Pay attention. How do you remedy that? Don't say nothing. This guy want to talk about how robbing banks is the best thing to do. Just say, yeah, man, I agree with you. Let's go rob a bank. I would, but I gotta go, man. My cousin needs me. My man Deshaun says, I too think about cars and saltwater fishing. How about that? Isn't it soothing to the mind? There are people that have idle minds. And because they got idle minds, they cram it with things of negative perspective, and it's the frequency. I'm gonna tell you something. If a person, I need an editor. I had to do my videos. I had a proofreader and an editor for my books. When the COVID hit, it messed everything up. And my friend James, he does videos. And the one thing that happened with him is he met a woman, and that woman said, how could I help you with your videos? And learned how to do editing and now she edits his videos. Atia LaShawn Bradley, I asked her, listen, help me put flyers out. And dig this, y'all gonna love the help that I needed. And I never got help like James getting help. I always get criticism help. I mean, like that's helping me. But I told this woman, I want help me put out flyers. I'm gonna be going from street to street, just be at the corner waiting for me. So drop me off at this corner and pick me up on the next corner. Couldn't even do that. I asked the woman that knocked on that door to help me. Drive me around. I'll sit in the passenger seat. I put the things in the mailbox. Couldn't even do that. But all those individuals could tell me something wrong with something I was doing or something that I have done. Todd Smith and Mary Smith created a man. And that seems to be a frequency that women just don't, they're not interested in. And I say that because I have never dealt with one that dealt with a man like me. A man. We are different frequencies. What was so easy to say for that no good, bite your tongue when you're dealing with a man. What is criticism, or I just want to inform you of something, is really, no, I'm hating on you because you really do wrong stuff too. That's what that is. Frequency. And once again, I love talking to the camera because the camera listens. You know, do you know that, listen at this. Do you know that everything I said here in a week will still be here if YouTube don't take this channel down? Do you know everything that I said word for word will still be here? I have talked to individuals and said things word for word. They have not heard what I said. I will say stuff to individuals and I'm like, I didn't say that. I have said things to people based on what they said and they forgot what they said. And I'm like, well, do know that's the reason why I said that. The camera, I am 100 for 100 with the camera. I do my best talking in front of the camera. The camera hears what I say word for word. Word for word. Yep. The camera don't disappoint. The camera is a very excellent source of communication. It's excellent. I mean, it's incredible. Oh, wow. Very well said. Mr. Dark says, sometimes your pets listen to you and understand you more than people. No, that ain't sometime. Why you think a dog is a man's best friend and diamonds are a woman's best friend? Diamonds is something that they can say, ooh, ooh, look. And a dog is something you can literally communicate with. You're saying something that I've been saying for the longest. Me and my dog communicated better than anybody that I ever was with. And my dog didn't even speak English. So you're right about that. Sometimes your pets listen to you and understand you more than people. Boom. How many times have you listened to Jazz 102.5 and said, man, when are they going to play a rap song? Never. But you guys are dealing with people that don't accept your frequency. They don't. I'm going to end this with this. I have a friend of mine whose son was, his friend was killed. His friend was killed because he was in a relationship. And then he was a nerdy type dude. The girl claimed she loved nerds. And then her girlfriend had a thug dude. And then the girl, when the girlfriend came around with her thug guy, he you know, because the hip hop world always got something to say about the conservative world. The conservative world don't got nothing to say about the hip hop world. But this is why the conservative world, individuals always taking stabs at the conservative world, the individuals that like to dress the way they want, individuals like to talk the way they want, and all these things, because 20 years ago, that used to be the clothes and all that used to be the slut look. Now it's just the look. 20 years ago, talking broken English and all that used to be considered a dumb street person. Now that's the way you're supposed to be, and now everybody that is more conservative and everything, we gotta bow down to the hip hop world. We gotta bow down. Like last year, I was supposed to have bowed down to a girl that said, "I'm fucking multiple guys, and I know you're conservative, and I know you write books, and no, the world is this, and you gotta get with and come into my world." And that's how that goes. So the girlfriend, you know, because you'd be hard pressed to find one that don't like him, and this is why he ended up getting killed. So the thug dude and all that, you know, his girlfriend, knowing damn well she wasn't on his frequency, goes out this and all that, and gets the conservative intellect around the thug dudes, and the thug dudes, they start picking on him. They ultimately ended up killing him, you know. And the girl ended up going to jail and all that. But that's what happens. The frequency, that world, see, that world of style and fashion and all that. And here's what an idiot would say. Well, things happen in that world too. Not in the dumb world of hip hop. In the dumb world of hip hop, where you got a Nami and the guys have a certain look and the women have a certain look, that world, it's part of it. At least in the conservative world, it comes and knocks on your door. But in that world, that's all part of it. That's all the way it is. And when my man told me about that about 4 months now, he said, you know, my son, friend, got killed. Yeah, messing around with this chick, and this chick messing around with thug dudes. And I said, so the conservative guy don't, you know, a thug guy comes around a conservative guy, the conservative guys don't be like, oh, you look like, oh, you're a booty out. Oh, my God, man. No, it's just, okay, they look at him and just, but when the thug guy comes around, it's like, damn, dog. I mean, you know what I mean? Yo, dog, it's that. That's why, like I said, I prefer conservative. I like conservative. Conservative is comfortable. It's comfortable, all right? But individuals will make a case for their thing, but that's your frequency. Go ahead and roll with that. That's your frequency. That's your frequency. But not too many people come into the conservative world and end up, it's two worlds. It ain't no, well, I wear my pants off my butt, but I'm an intellect. That's not how that go. Oh, I dress this way, but I'm that. I got you. It's all this up. It's two different worlds. Like I said, 20 years ago, there was a perspective. Now it's everybody want to do this, and it's like that's the way it gotta be. And I was listening to him, and my friend said that's why I told my wife, no, knock it off with your bringing your friends to the house. Knock it off. You got this one girl every 2 weeks she dating a new dude, and when he brought one dude to the house, the dude was like talking to my man about one of his cars, and my man got real uncomfortable about that. But that's the end. You know, an individual dealing with somebody that's dealing with somebody. I was talking to a woman about 2 years ago, and she was like, "Oh yeah, there was an album release party, a rap album release party, and there ended up being shooting." So I said, "What's the problem?" She was like, "They're shooting." I said, "So what's the problem though?" I said, "Let me ask you a question. Did you see all those that was on the guest list, or was it a open because I'm a rapper and I'm trying to get as many views or get much exposure as possible, and the person that threw the party did not have a guest list like the people in the conservative world have a guest list?" Oh, I don't know. I said, "Well, next time there's an album release party, how about you take a look at the guest list?" Because in the world of rap, what's the problem with there being a shootout at the album review? What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? Now, if you're talking about there was a jazz album release party in the shooting, now something ain't right. I'm gonna end it with this. I'm gonna give you an example. Came home on 6th Ave in Newark, New Jersey. I don't know if a lot of people remember back in the 70s when Fidel Castro released all them Cuban refugees and they came over to the United States. Well, when all those Cuban refugees came over to the United States, they hit Newark, New Jersey hard. So it was Cubans and crime had spiked. So I was talking to this dude in the 90s, and he was one of them 5%ers. One of them gods and earths. And everybody that knows me when I talk like my dad. I talk like I'm insulting you. I know I'm insulting you. What are you going to do about it? So I'm talking to my man Mike, and the guy's about 15 years older than me. I comes out talking to my man Mike, and he comes and runs down off the porch, and he's like, "Yo, brother," he's hit me with all this earth and God crap. And I said to him, "Let me ask you a question." I said, "So right around the corner on 6th Ave and 9th Street in Newark, New Jersey." I said, "Right around the corner on 6th Ave and 9th Street, you're saying that if you go around there and see the donut skirts on the ground and the drug activity, you saying that there's something wrong with that?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "No, it's not. This is the ghetto. That's where that's supposed to happen. The ghetto is called the slums." I said, "Now, up in Bloomfield, if you was to tell me this was happening up in Bloomfield, New Jersey, that's when it's a problem." I said, "But you talking about clean up the ghetto?" I said, "You talking about cleaning up the ghetto?" I said, "Bruh, the ghetto been like this since the beginning of time. You can't clean the ghetto up. You got to get yourself out the ghetto." And he was looking at me, and the way I said it to him, I was saying it to him like I was verbally smacking a dude, which I'm good for that. But I'm saying all this here tonight to tell you guys, frequency. That's the key to a person. Their frequency will tell you who they are, what they broadcast. Remember the example that I gave? Claim they don't know nothing about cars. You never knew they knew about cars, but they can tell you you got bad tires. Frequency people. Have a good night.